How did you find out about Spokes?
A friend of mine that I've known since I was little. I had a problem with my bike. I broke, I don't know what the name of the part is, but the seat wouldn't stay up. And because of what time I get back to where I live, none of the bike shops are open. And she said, oh, I know someone who has this place called Spokes. We can go see, I can show you where it is, and you happen to be here. So I said, oh, this is what I need.
When do you ride and why?
I ride in the morning and I ride at night, commuting back and forth from San Leandro to Richmond.
How do you keep your bike working?
I come to Spokes Bike Shop whenever I need a tune-up or my bike is making a funny noise like squeaking or something.
How much time and money would it take to get a flat fixed without spokes?
It would depend on which tire it is. The back tire is extremely hard and I need help changing that. And there's no other bike shops around, so it's not a matter of the tire actually being expensive, it's being inconvenient, meaning I have to take the bus, and the buses around here, which is the reason why I started riding the bike, the bus I would have to take every so often, it's an hour or two late. And that's when I'm trying to get home, and it's not necessarily a good neighborhood that I'm in when I'm riding back out towards Richmond BART, so I don't want to be stuck out there for 2 hours.
How far is the nearest bike shop?
In San Leandro, there's one not too far from the BART station, but it closes by the time I get home.
Can you afford regular bike shop labor and prices?
Well, regular bike shop, it would actually depend, because if it's a nice little community bike shop like Spokes, they're not expensive and they're reasonable. But if it's one of the more expensive bike shops, like the one not for a bike rider like me, but for a cyclist, I would not be able to afford it.
Has Spokes helped you keep your bike running, whatever funds you have?
Yes.
Okay. Has Spokes ever fixed your bike for free?
Yes.
Full sentence.
Yes. Actually, what happened? My original bike I got from Walmart, and it basically kept falling apart. And it was costing so much money that sometimes Spokes would throw me a bone and say, here, we'll just fix it for you.
What did you end up doing with that bike?
I salvaged it for parts. I salvaged that bike for parts. That's what I ended up having to do because I couldn't return it. And speaking of that, Spokes actually went with me to the store that I bought it at to try and convince the people that it wasn't my fault that the bike was, excuse my French, a piece of crap.
That's cool, because the next question was, does Spokes help you in an emergency? That sounds like emergency service. If Spokes doesn't have what you need, can they get it?
Yes. They've, there's one time I needed a part, they didn't have it, so they took me to another bike shop that also had reasonable prices. But that was like over an hour ride, so I don't want to do that again. But like an emergency, they will go with me to try to convince the store that I bought the bike at, or they will go with me to another bike shop to help me find a part.
Do you think you can maintain your bike without spokes?
It would be extremely hard because, as I've said, by the time I get home, the bike shops are closed, and they're usually not open on Sundays, and Sundays is usually my day when I can go out and just do stuff. So the location of this bike shop currently is great. It's right next to the BART station. I don't have to go out of my way. It's right there. Right there. Like, I've come in, there it is. I go, there it is.
So have you learned about your bike from Spokes?
Yes. Basically, if there's something squeaking, they'll tell me what that is. And once again, that evil Walmart bike was having so many problems that I kept having to, like, why is it doing this? And they would explain to me, oh, well, this part of the bike has a hole in it, and when you're riding over gravel, the gravel will fly up into the stem that the seat sits on, since it's hollow, and then it grinds up when I pedal my bike, and that's why it's going.
So you couldn't get the supplies and maintenance that you needed from the place you bought your bike?
No.
Okay. How far would you be willing to travel to get your bike fixed?
How far would I be willing to travel?
Just a simple answer.
Not far, because I don't have a car, and I'd have to either take public transportation or figure out a way to get a ride with somebody who has a truck, and that's very inconvenient.
And
right now.
Have you seen Ricmond Spokes working in the community?
I know they've done a lot of events in the community, but because of my hours, I can't make them. But I've seen a lot of the flyers. Like, I believe there was an event where they were doing free bicycle checks, and I know they give free helmets to little kids. I actually bumped into a little girl riding a bike, and I thought, I should tell her so she can get a helmet, because she didn't have a helmet.
And so those are the questions. Is there anything that you want to say in support of the city of Richmond, the community of Richmond, about Spokes being here, or about the impact if it wasn't here?
I think that Richmond would be doing the bike riders they have here a big disservice if they didn't find a way to keep Spokes in Richmond, especially near the BART station, because there are a lot of commuters that ride bikes, and you've got a BART station right there. I mean, I bumped into a girl, it was, I think, the week I found out Spokes was here, and her tire blew out. And, you know, this is her first time in Richmond or even in this area, and she has no idea where a bike shop is. And it just so happens, hey, Spokes is right there, you know, just go right over there. It's not that far, you can walk there. And that's the thing, if I have to leave my bike, I don't have to worry about catching a bus. I can walk right over to the BART station.
Awesome. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Cool, I'm out.